to be added. I said put those restaurants in there because, like I said, y'all spend a lot of money at restaurants and don't even realize it. You know, $2 a day, $3. You think about it, $5 a day, 7 days a week, that's $35. 35 times 4 weeks, you've already spent $100 and some dollars that you could have been paying down a bill. So, okay, I already read y'all with the scope. So breaking down scope, information regarding the project schedule as well as the assignment of tasks can be included within the scope. So one of y'all be sure to add in their, no, I don't want y'all to go that fast. Never mind, I'm not going to read that. I don't want to take y'all that fast. I don't want to take you that fast and you lose it. No, I'd rather be slow and so y'all can let it marinate on you. So you can see where you're at financially. Is there anybody who feels like that they are financially stable right now? Because if you do, I can tell you something right now, that even if you are financially stable, even rich people become to the point where they're not financially stable because of bad spending habits, because they're not paying attention to what's going on. What are they spending their money on? And you know, part of those bills, too, y'all don't forget to put your cell phone bills in there. If you got a cell phone and you got a house phone or you're paying for other folks' cell phones and stuff, make sure that you put that in there as well. Because cell phones have become a part of our lifestyles now. And some of us are paying a whole lot of money just going on phones. How much a month are you paying just going on your phone? So make sure that you put that in there. Let me think of some other things that can go into your scope. If you are using renter centers, any type of renter center, and you're making a payment, make sure that you put that in there. Even the smallest bills. What is your estimation of gas that you spend in a month's time? In a month's time, because we're going to try to operate on our finances and get them back in good standings. And not only that, like I said, even if you do get back in good standings, if you don't have the mindset for it, you'll end up back in those bad spending habits. And that's what happened to me. Even though I came out of bankruptcy, it was like I couldn't wait to start using credit cards and stuff again. I remember when I got my first credit card, when I came out of bankruptcy, I said, shoot, my credit score is 720. They didn't approve me. I'm going to get me a Fingerhood. I got me a Capital One card. I got me a Bank of America card. I just went crazy getting cards. Didn't have no sense back then. As long as I was approved, guess what? I was going to spend it, won't caring how I was going to pay it back, wasn't caring about it affecting my credit or anything. And I can tell you to this day, after I talked to some of the credit reporting agencies, Experian, TransSouth, it's another one. I can't think of the name of it. But anyway, I talked to some of them people, and I just recently, I could post it. I just recently went in and I said, look, the statute of limitations are up on these cards. Why are they still on my credit? If you could please remove it. I wrote them a letter and asked them to remove it, and guess what? They removed it off of my credit. So any kind of card over 3 years old here in North Carolina, you can write in and tell them that the statute of limitations is up on it and get it off of your credit yourself. See, things like that, I didn't intend to do that. I didn't intend to spend. When I first got the cards, I really did have intentions of spending, paying it back. But what ended up happening was I just had too many. I had too many cards. I got to the point where I was using one card to pay off the other card. When you get to that position in life, you know you're messing up. It's time to stop. Anytime when you're using a card that you got to make payments on to pay off another payment, no. You gotta stop. Cancel it out. Stop. Cut that card up, pay that debt off, and move on. Move on. Any questions or comments? We have 8 minutes left in the chat. Okay, another thing, if you are going to purchase things like washing machines, living room suits, the best way to do that is to, if you have to absolutely get it on credit, try to pay it off within 90 days. Most places have the 90-day interest-free plan. Say you get a living room suit that's like $1,000. Maybe you can pay like $300-$400 a month if you got that type of finance, and go on and get it paid off. Don't try to hold on to it. Don't try to wait the life of the contract out, because if you wait the life of the contract out, you're going to end up paying more than what it's worth. When if you pay it off in that 90 days, guess what? You don't get all the interest fees on there. You don't have to pay all those interest fees. Because I've got my eye on a brand new dining room set, beautiful glass little thing. I already see my yellow on it. And I have a goal to get that set by at least my birthday, the end of August. But before I can get it, I've got one more thing that I got to pay off before I get it. And whenever I get it, I want to be able to pay it off in 2 months. You hear me? In 2 months. I want to be able to pay it off in 2 months so I don't get those interest fees. So I ain't got these little small side bills. The little small side bills, y'all, let me tell you something. You think about it. If you got 6 little small side bills, $50 each, you got a loan payment here, a loan payment there, and then you got like, I'm going to say like rent-a-center, bad cots, something like that. You got all those little side bills like that. That stuff adds up, and that's taken away from you. My goal is to get you to see how to bring more money in than to take more money out. Once you learn how your spending is, you're going to learn how to start making wiser choices, and you're going to be able to start bringing in more money, and you're going to learn how to keep more money in than taking out. Because the biggest problem that we all have is that we're just spending what we don't have. That's the big problem. We're spending more than we have. We're spending more than we earn. And then we end up, in debt. It's good to have some debt, but whenever you have it so much that it's all that far over your head, till you start losing yourself and you start losing things, and, like we said in the financial infidelity, where you start having to keep secrets and hide stuff, that's a bad position. There's no freedom in that. There's no freedom in that, and there's no peace in that. And the only way you have the peace of God with you is to get back to the truth. Find your money truth. Your money truth is being honest about where you are financially, and being honest about what you can do about it, and sticking to that discipline. You got to discipline yourself to stick to it. You got to condition your mind for it. How you condition your mind for it? You read the Bible. See what God says about your debtors. See what God says about it. And, even in the prayer, which one was it? It was the prayer, the Lord's Prayer, forgive us. I can't even remember it. It's been that long since I said the Lord's Prayer. Oh, Lord, forgive me. But even in the Lord's Prayer, it talks about our debtors and stuff. So, it's stuff in the Bible that's pertaining to our debtors and how we are to give to charities. I found that the biggest blessing that I ever had, even though I didn't have much myself over these last 4 years, was whenever I was helping other people. Let me tell you, when God starts opening up doors and making a way, He don't play about it. I was still able to help charities because I had the skills to get out there and ask other people to help me, and I would put things together so I could continue helping people even when people didn't even think I was working. I was still working, helping people. That's the way God is. When you bring it back to Him, when you bring that truth and you hand Him your truth, guess what? His word will not return back void, because He's a God that can't lie. If He say you're going to be straight, you're going to be straight. If He says I need you to put your work in, your time in, put your work in, your time in. It's all going to be worth it. All right, y'all. Do I have any questions or comments? I'm trying to see here. I don't know what I did. I did have some scriptures. Okay, let me find my scripture right quick, y'all. We have 3 minutes. I usually don't count down the time, but I think I finished a little early. Nobody talked to me. Okay, John 14:27. If you have your Bibles, go to John 14:27. I want to say restless nights. When you have so much financial debt over your head, you don't sleep well. You don't have peace. You don't have peace whenever you have all that debt and you're trying to figure out how you're going to pay the bill, how you're going to keep your lights on, how you're going to keep food on your table. You don't have peace, so if you're not turning to God for your answers, I can tell you all of this, but if you don't turn to God and trust God, because I'm not the one to put your faith in. Remember, I'm the one that made mistakes too. So God is the one to put your faith in. But when you feel yourself where it's getting too stressful for you, remember John 14:27. Peace I leave with you. My peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled and do not be afraid. In other words, what this scripture is telling you is that when we look at it from a worldly point of view, our finances, we see big mountains. We see mountains getting bigger and bigger. We see headaches. We see things getting cut off. But when we look at it from a spiritual point of view, guess what? We see faith moving those mountains. Bam, 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 faith, cutting it down, one at a time, two at a time. And before you know it, God will be done so much in your life in the next 3 years till you'll be like, wow, I didn't even see myself coming out of this. I didn't even see myself coming out of this. But you will be out of it. And you will get your peace. You will have your peace. You will be able to rest as you continue to pay off your debt or, get them, get accounts closed out and stuff like that. You will still have peace. The whole time I went through this situation, it got hard. I ain't gonna lie, it got hard. I thought sometimes I thought sometimes I won't go make it every now and then. But then I had to get back to study my word and build my faith up. It wasn't wavering or anything, but it was times when I got so sick in my body and I was so weak from not having anything to eat. I didn't know if I was going to wake up in the next day because I was going 2 and 3 days not hardly eating. I was eating like probably a baby portion of food each day. You hear me? Trying to keep food, something on my stomach to keep my blood sugars up and stuff. I was just eating baby portions, trying to survive. And it was times when I would wake up, when I would get ready to lay down, and I would say, Lord, just keep me. Lord, keep me. I literally prayed my way through my hungriness. I literally did. I kid you not. I prayed my way through every time I got hungry. And the peace of God would come over me. I wouldn't worry about it. And the next day, somebody be knocking on the door. And they say, Jamie, you want this plate? Or they'd be like, I didn't got this food. You want this food right here? It was always somebody. God was always sending somebody through. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. Don't be afraid to get things right. Don't be afraid to get things right. We have a fear of if we start doing what's right, when we start spending our money on the things that are right, we have that fear in us that we're going to miss out on something that the world is doing. But what is God trying to do in your life? He's trying to free you up from some stuff. I had to go through it. I had to get freed up from some stuff. Some people I was tied to, guess what? I'm no longer spending money on them people anymore. I was spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on them people. I'm no longer doing that now. So when I tell you, you're going to have to lose in order to gain, you're going to lose people. You might lose weight. You might even lose a car or two. But you're going to have to lose in order to gain. Some of us have excess stuff that ain't meaning us no good no way. Old cars sitting around. Need to get rid of them. That's your money right there. Anything that God has for you is good. And if that car was some good, it'd be working.
Hey, I tell you what.